80 BC, the world holds its breath, a silence before the storm, before an empire of millions descends upon the gates of Greece. In that silence, 300 stood, not for glory, not for power, but for the simple right to call themselves free men. Their king was Leonidas, unbreakable, unyielding. Their enemy, Xerxes, ruler of the world, thirsty for domination. A narrow pass called Thermopylae, flesh and faith would collide with the weight of an empire. What they began here would echo for eternity. So, there's this place between the old school and the new trends. It's more than just a fight, it's about changing the game. Our characters deal with faith, power, and history being reinterpreted. Get ready for Timeline Dresser, where real-life stuff meets bravery, belief, and honesty. Year 480 BC, the earth trembles beneath the march of an empire. From the east, a storm of men and metal moves across the land. The mighty army of Persia, led by King Xerxes. His will is law, his reach endless. The world will kneel or burn. But from the west, a whisper defies a roar. In the city of Sparta, sons are forged from iron. King Leonidas, warrior, father, king, watches the horizon, and he knows what's coming. The pass of Thermopylae, the hot gates, a narrow cut between mountain and sea. Here, the Persians' vast numbers mean nothing. Here, the world will change. The Council of Greece is divided, pride and politics in every room. But Leonidas rises, his voice steady, his eyes burning with purpose. If freedom is to live, someone must hold the gates. He chooses 300, the finest of Sparta, fathers, brothers, sons, men who fight not for victory, but for honor. And they march north into the jaws of death. And from the east, an ocean of men advances. The Persian armada, dark, endless, unstoppable. Waves crash against the hulls of their ships as the sky burns crimson. Thermopylae, the Spartans build their wall, stone by stone. Each rock a vow, no further. Then silence, until the mist moves. Persian scouts emerge, shadows against the dawn. Trumpets scream. The first wave begins. Day 1. The gates still hold.
The first day fades into smoke and silence. The ground at Thermopylae runs dark with blood, yet the Spartans still stand. From the mountains, crows circle, silent witnesses to defiance. And far across the sea, Xerxes watches, his pride wounded deeper than any soldier's flesh.
The great king does not sleep. That night, beneath silk tents and burning braziers, his fury echoes. He sends in the immortals, his elite warriors, draped in black, masked in silver. The world has never seen them defeated. Until now, night falls upon the hot gates. The air thickens with salt and fear. In the Spartan camp, there is no laughter, only sharpening steel and whispered prayers. Leonidas moves through his men, not as a king, but as one of them. He kneels beside his captain Dinakes, the man who laughed when told the Persian arrows would blot out the sun. Leonidas asks, "Are you afraid?" Dinakes smiles through the smoke. "No, my king, just disappointed the sun won't see us fight." Far below, torches move through the mist. The immortals are coming. The mountain wind howls like a beast. The Spartans rise and the night ignites. The immortals strike like shadows, fast, ruthless, endless. But the Spartans, they do not yield. Shield against shield, spear against flesh. The pass becomes a furnace of screams and bronze. Every thrust, every shout, echoes across the cliffs. The immortals fall one by one. Their legend dies on the rocks of Greece. And for the second time, Xerxes trembles. The second day dawns red. Persian archers darken the sky. Tens of thousands of arrows blot out the sun. But the Spartans lift their shields and fight in the shadows. Xerxes grows desperate. He sends wave after wave, cavalry, archers, giants from the east. But every charge breaks like water against the rock. The hot gates hold. Still, night, silence again. Only the waves speak, crashing softly against the shore. Leonidas looks toward the stars, toward Sparta, and whispers, Tomorrow we die. As the night fades, Leonidas senses it. A weight in the air, a silence too deep. He turns to his captains, and he knows. We've been betrayed. Yet even in betrayal, there is choice. The allies tremble. Some beg to retreat, others to surrender. But Leonidas stands tall, his voice calm against the chaos. Go, save yourselves. Tell them we fought for Greece. And when the others leave, the 300 remain, their eyes clear, their hearts steady, ready to die where they stand. Dawn breaks like a blade of fire. The mountains glow crimson, the sea turns to blood. From two sides, the Persian host closes in. The 300 stand between them, a wall of flesh and iron, guarding the dying heartbeat of freedom. Leonidas walks the line. He touches every shoulder, meets every gaze. No speech, no promise of victory, only the quiet truth of men who have already given everything. Horns thunder across the valley. Arrows rise again, darkening the sky. The Spartans tighten formation, shield to shield, heart to heart. And then they charge. The clash is thunder made flesh. Bronze smashes against bone. Dust turns to storm. The Persians press from every side, endless, merciless, yet the wall holds. Spears break, swords shatter, but the spirit does not. One by one, allies fall. Thespians, Thebans, men whose names will fade into history. Yet beside Leonidas, his 300 fight like lions trapped in fire. Xerxes watches from his throne of gold and stone, disbelief carved across his face. Each charge he sends dies screaming at the gates, until a messenger kneels before him and whispers of a mountain path. The traitor's promise is fulfilled. From behind the ridge, dust rises. The Persians encircle the pass. No way forward, no way back. Leonidas calls his captains. Eat well, men, he says, for tonight we dine in Hades. Laughter bursts through exhaustion, fearless, defiant. Even death cannot silence a Spartan. The Persians advance again, drums beating like the heart of an empire. Spartans, he roars, come and take them. The final charge begins. 300 red capes surge forward into a sea of black. Steel meets storm, flesh meets fate. The ground quakes beneath their fury. Arrows pierce the sky again. Leonidas rips one from his shoulder, thrusts forward, his roar echoing across the cliffs. His guard forms a circle, the last wall of Sparta. He looks once toward the sea, toward home, and smiles. A single spear flashes through sunlight, and the king of Sparta falls. Around him, the Spartans fight to the last breath. No retreat, no surrender. Their bodies become the wall. Their courage becomes eternal. When the dust settles, the pass is silent. Xerxes walks among the fallen. He looks upon Leonidas and orders the body taken. But no conqueror can chain a legend. Days later, word reaches Sparta. Mothers do not weep. They raise their sons' shields to the sky. With it, or on it, they whisper, the promise fulfilled. The Persians march south, yet something changes. Across Greece, free men take up arms. At Salamis, at Plataea, the tide will turn. 300 deaths ignite 1,000 victories. Years later, a stone stands where the hot gates once burned. On it, words carved by time and tears. Go, tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here, obedient to their laws, we lie. The hot gates are silent now. But if you listen closely, you can still hear them. The echo of shields, the roar of courage, and the heartbeat of men who would rather die standing than live on their knees.